I am Gerard Burley. I'm a 36-year-old trainer and fitness studio owner.
My name's Nicole. I am almost 30 years old. I'm a Global Public Health Monitoring and Evaluation Officer.
I'm Kyle Shrivastava, and I'm a 29-year-old working in the field of international development and peace building.
My name is Malikat. I am a 30-year-old diplomat.
I am Black.
I am white.
I'm half Indian, half Caucasian.
Quite obviously, I am Black.
Why is race so hard to talk about?
Well, in fact, I think that for most Black Americans and for most people of color in general, we tend to be fairly comfortable talking about race, specifically because it impacts our daily lives. It's something that we can't quite escape from.
In some circles, in the circle where I grew up and the environment and context that I grew up in, it just is ignored easily.
Speaking for people who are coming from a place of privilege, I think it's difficult because it requires accepting complicitness in these racist structures and institutions that we're benefiting from.
I think race is so hard to talk about because it makes us feel uncomfortable to show that we have differences. And in our world, I think, especially like in the 80s and being like an 80s baby, we were taught to like really hone in on all the things that we have alike. And if we're anything that's different, we just don't talk about it.
I think the discomfort arises when you involve white people in the conversation, because for many white people, they feel as if the conversation at its core is about blame.
It requires us to admit that a sacrifice needs to be made in terms of the level of comfort enjoyed and the privileges enjoyed by people.
You don't learn how to talk about it. You don't have the vocabulary to talk about it. It's a hurtful and sensitive topic. And so that paired with not being able to articulate your thoughts about it, make it difficult to talk about.
If we're unable to confront these two narratives of the world being okay and reality not being how we see it, then we're unable to accept what our role is within this institutional racism that we're facing, and we're unable to accept the need for certain sacrifices.
For most people of color, Black people especially, it's not about blame, it's about empowering white people to recognize their responsibility that they have to dismantle systems of oppression and to be an individual taking part in change that the United States needs to see.
And I think just now that we're kind of learning that by not acknowledging the differences and even celebrating the differences that we have, we actually hide people's existence, which is really worse than even not liking